This week 2 NFL picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SGPN.
Hey everybody, Jim McMahon here, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stuck in the money green with my partner on picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
No, hello, Sean.
Hello.
One of us was 3-0 in our locks last week. One of us.
Congrats to you on your locks, Ryan.
Thank you.
My locks were 0-3. They ate a massive bag of dicks.
I didn't know that actually.
You didn't.
I might have known.
Oh yeah, you're rubbing salt in the wounds.
Not really.
Like a great teammate.
Not really, because
I mean, you could have just said my locks are 3-0. Instead, you chose to say one of our locks were 3-0.
I was trying to be mysterious.
No, okay.
I was drawing intrigue.
Hey, my mojo was off with the lock selection. Didn't have a great week, but at least got Caleb Williams' first touchdown. Justin Fields anytime touchdowns. Justin Fields, Ryan, is in the mix right now, tied for first place, most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. And I realized, I was like, you know what, the mojo was a little bit off. What did I not do right? I always blame myself. I look internally. There's some guys who could say variance. Some guys who get on here and go, Youngway, who gives a fuck? Couldn't hit a field goal to tie that Falcons game up. Caleb Williams.
They're not booing. They're saying coo.
Caleb Williams, who I want to. It's really hard to get mad at Caleb Williams without going to the clearly zesty lifestyle choices.
Oh,
so
Sean,
I would just
low
say
bar.
Less on the manicure, more on the quick reads.
Wow.
It feels like he's a little distracted.
Wow.
And the JJ McCarthy, I was like, all right, fading JJ.
Careful.
What?
Well, you saw what happened to Peter Schrager.
What happened?
You
to
might
Peter
just
Schrager?
catch shrapnel from Ryan. You didn't play.
Oh,
Not a player.
I played.
How dare you?
You're
have
not
that
a
opinion.
player, Ryan. I played. Now, JJ McCarthy, I nailed it. He was going to suck for the first 3 quarters. And then he comes back from the dead, mostly because the Bears suck. And Caleb Williams couldn't get anything going. Very annoying there. But he did throw a pick 6. How do they give JJ McCarthy NFC Offensive Player of the Week when he threw a pick 6?
You cannot be serious.
I don't understand it at all.
What it made me think of was before the season, we speculated how the media was very behind Kevin O'Connell and this JJ McCarthy situation. And this is like continuation, right? Like this is no different than the AP voting scandal. Whoever votes for the player of the week, which by the way, NFL Network also putting out best dressed. Like who
won that?
I didn't even look. I just got so mad looking at the premise that we're going to be giving out. Actually, it was Devonta Smith and who's the new left tackle for the Redskins? Blanking on his name. Gas mask. Yes, Laramie Tunsil. So Devonta Smith was wearing some weird Mount Me hat, and Tunsil was wearing a sick Porsche leather. Anyway, doesn't matter. How do you vote and give a guy with a quarterback that throws a pick 6 cannot win an Offensive Player of the Year award?
Yeah, that's insane.
How is that possible?
Yeah, you are not the Offensive Player of the Week if one of your plays resulted in the defense getting a touchdown. And I see Olan in the chat saying, "Oh, it wasn't his fault. They got 12 penalties." Well, some of those false start penalties, I think, could be on the quarterback. That's something good quarterbacks, they know. The offensive line knows their cadence. They're disciplined. There was a lot of undisciplined action in that Bears team.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to blame that on the quarterback. What I will say is, after listening, I don't know what it was. Ben Johnson never threw up a red flag for me listening to press conferences. but hearing his voice on the sideline during a halftime report, I just to myself said, "Oh no, this guy does not sound like he has." He does not sound like he's taking the media training courses. At least
it's early. It's early. It's early. And reminder, because week 1 last year was. Well, I guess I'm wrong about the Saints. I guess Derek Carr might be MVP.
We were wrong for 2 weeks on the Saints.
No, well, and I think if I had to make a guess, this year's Saints might be the Indianapolis Colts, but maybe we'll see. We'll break that game down. Ryan, we needed something to get the mojo back, and of course, blast it, baby! The National Football League. We got 16 games. We got locks. We got money line dogs. We got props. We got parlays. Eagles 1-0. Eagles undefeated. Eagles on top of the NFC East.
Focus forward, Sean. Focus forward.
Yes. They're going to fuck up the Kansas City Chiefs. Go Birds. Let's get it. NFL week 2 is here.
So,
Kramer, I noticed you're not wearing any Giants gear. Have you already bailed on your team?
I'm wearing a Giants t-shirt, but I was also, I thought it'd be a great opportunity after 1 week in the NFL to promote the merch store. Something I like to do, which, you know, we got some good products like the Under Armour Refs Are Terrorists sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now.
25% off promo code football.
Promoting the store.
Well, and Ryan,
one of us is promoting the store.
What do you mean?
I'm continuation.
Oh, you're throwing me under the bus.
I'm just saying you're wearing Eagles gear
and I'm wearing an SGP hat,
and I'm wearing a hoodie.
All right. We got to show this photo of, so someone ordered a hat. They were ordering one of those DGen only hats with like the cool captain's rope there, new to the merch store. And unfortunately, the outfit we work with, usually very good results once in a while.
Have you ever? We've only, I mean, in the couple of years we've been doing this, we've maybe had a couple like incorrect products.
Yeah, usually it's just, hey, this doesn't fit me correctly, replace it, whatever. Once in a blue moon, it'll be like something was damaged or it's the wrong thing. Very rare that they mess up. They actually do a great job for the most part. But a listener reached out to Jake, the merch god, and goes, "This is not the hat I ordered, Ryan, please." And the listener sent in a hat. That,
all I can think of is, boy, someone was hoping for this hat and they got a SGPN Degens hat. The hat for the audio audience, the hat, which again, if you've seen the SGPN Degens hat, it's a white rope across a black hat and then text above. Except for the text on this hat says, "Don't bully me, I'll come."
Oh my God.
I just have so many questions.
No,
I want to know who's selling this hat, and I want to get in touch with them because one of their fans now has one of our hats.
Well, and I would not be surprised, Ryan, if
this is unreal.
The person that ordered the "Don't bully me, I'll come" might also be a DGen only, a listener to the podcast. So
you're saying he's got a separate life?
If you received a Degens only hat by mistake and you were looking to get the "Don't bully me, I'll come" hat, please contact our merch store. We will get you your correct hat. That is insane.
Do we need to add this to our merch store now?
Well, we do have some. Wait, no, you cannot. Hooked on Bo Nix saying, "Wait, we can buy that hat." No, the hat is not currently in the merch store. But if people want the hat, I guess we'll sell it. Oh God, hilarious.
Oh, I mean, but I just, yeah, it's just a hilarious. It's a, what are they? Happy accident. I feel like I've gotten used that a couple times.
Well, that pun intended. Happy accident, right?
Yeah. All right.
Any other? We got the mojo right. We got the "Don't bully me, I'll come" hat
out of the way.
One more, it's been a little bit.
I was going to say we should check out the newspapers.
Oh yes, of course. Always fun to check in with our fellow Degens, and this one is Days of Our Real Men of Degens.
SGPN presents Real Men of Degens.
Real men of Degens.
We salute you.
Guy by the name of Omar Gonzalez Diaz, who apparently was down $16,710.24 while gambling on a cruise. The cruise ship was going into port, and instead of settling the marker, he decided to hop off the cruise ship to avoid paying it. He was then rescued by two random dudes on a jet ski, taken to shore, where then they tracked him down and arrested him for jumping off the cruise ship. So we salute you, Omar, who is facing up to $250,000 and 5 years in prison.
They had his information. He made that debt way worse.
Well, and how does that work? Because I always thought international waters, whatever goes. I'm sure these cruise ships are in with the government, and they got some sort of system.
You don't think they're, before they give you a marker, they're jotting down your information?
Oh, I think
from your country of origin.
I think they have your information, but hey, that happened in a different country. You can't. There's no jurisdiction for gambling debts I incurred in Guatemala over here in America.
But they're still getting your information. I think if you got a marker in Guatemala, someone might show up to your house.
Yeah,
probably don't want that to happen.
The cruise ship guys are pretty tough. I don't know if I'd be messing around, leaving unpaid markers with the cruise ship.
But pretty hilarious to like, again, someone underestimates the ocean.
He was fine.
Dying for $16,000. That tough spot.
Oh, the crazier part was he had $14,000 in cash in his bag, and he claimed he was worried he might get taxed on the cash. I think he was doing some sort of thing where he was like winning and keeping the cash and then taking out markers.
He was going to rob the place the whole time.
He had the cash ready to go.
As someone who operates on markers,
yeah.
You're keeping you want to stay liquid because you got some action to get into, like me in Vegas. I'm never paying back a marker mid Vegas trip. Yeah, we'll wait till the end. I might need some of that liquidity, and you know what? Turned out well last week with that fucking Bills live file.
Oh my god, that was another thing. The Bills live money line bailed me out. The Caleb Williams first touchdown. The really Justin Fields 2-1.
Oh, and I
well, and then winning the Bills game too. Yeah. Also betting on the Bills, pulling that out of our ass, and then
Jags
firing on
hand pay, massive Jags hand pay, number 5 on the season,
jagging off ride.
The slot. How's the slot?
I've heard people say bad things about the Jags this week, discrediting their win against the mighty Carolina Panthers.
Any big picture thoughts when we go into week 2? Usually, historically, it's been a good week for dogs because people overreact. Week 2 underdogs 37-21 and 4 ATS. Big picture, which kind of makes sense that people overreact to what they saw in week 1, and they, a team winning by a bunch, losing by a bunch, comeback victories. It's an interesting situation spot week 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to play the game of, do I overreact to what I saw or do I ignore it? And
well, to your point, there could be.
I don't think you have a third option.
Hey, but you don't want to be too much in denial. Hey, if I was wrong about this team,
that's my
then
point,
I double down. Then you're digging a bigger hole. But also, you don't want to overreact to, hey, I don't think the Colts are this good. Maybe they. But
I don't think you do it like that. I think you can avoid that game by just saying I am downgrading the shit out of the Dolphins, and I'm willing to accept the fact. Now the Colts are a unique situation because of their week 2 game is another, like, do we overreact to what we saw, even though the outcome of the game was good? But yeah, no, I think it's so. There's the reason I don't put any stat numbers in the sheet until like week 4, week 5 is obvious. We have too small of a sample size, but also I do think that everyone should just go back and revisit what their prediction was for each team. And then this is like one of the best weeks of the year to take advantage of the look ahead lines. Cause the look ahead line is going to this is the one week where you're going to see a lot of movement off the look ahead line. And you really have to just ask yourself, am I upgrading or downgrading this team that much? Anyway, that's that.
Yeah. I mean, just going back to NFL week 1 last year, of course, Saints winning 47-10 over the Panthers. Certainly the Panthers weren't good last year, but the Saints weren't as well. So winning by 37, that was a false flag. The Patriots beating the Bengals 16-10. But again, we've come to know that just how much they've struggled. The Bengals in those first 2 weeks. Seahawks beating the Broncos 26-20, maybe a little bit. I mean, the Commanders, who ended up going to the NFC Championship game, lost by 17 against Tampa Bay. So some of these are kind of reminders that, hey, just because it happened in NFL Week 1 doesn't mean you're totally wrong or totally right on the positions.
Yeah, but I think in general I try to react less because it's very easy to react a lot based on one game.
Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. We shout out to the Slide Master. Colby at it again. Put some Easter eggs as he wanted to let everyone know the stadiums he likes, so he put stickers on the slides when there's a stadium that he likes.
It kind of reminds me of like a teenage girl decorating her trapper
notebook,
keeper,
right?
Well, I was gonna say teenage girl or CJ, who also has a trapper keeper he decorated.
It's really turning into something. All right, so before we actually, I'll save it for when we get to one of the teams with the quarterbacks we're going to talk about. All right. First up, Thursday Night Football. Already broke this down. Go listen to the props episode. I don't think much has changed between now and then in terms of like we missed anything. There were some guys banged up on the injury report. We'll get into it in a second, but I think in general, I still feel pretty good about the props I gave out there. This one, Sean, 3. And I pulled this from the Circa -180 on the money line, Washington +155. I know there's some 3.5s out there. This is one of the ones that I think you do want to look at the look ahead line. If you had to guess, what do you think this was earlier in the summer?
2.5,
down at 1.5 even. So you're seeing a pretty massive upgrade. I know there's even some 3.5s out in the market right now, but you're seeing a pretty massive upgrade. A lot has to do off of that trailing Micah Parsons trade. They also looked really good.
Yes.
And so Green Bay, I think fits the model of a team that I think I have to acknowledge looks pretty fucking good. And the Micah Parsons thing clearly is going to make that defense better because I do think they're going to be playing from ahead a decent amount. And Washington, meanwhile, the weak part of that team, the defense, we didn't see it get tested last week. I think it's a slightly harder test this week. And frankly, like the Giants did an okay job against Jaden Daniels, and he made some bad throws. He was willing to put the ball in some weird situations. I've heard this spun as like, well, if they just clean that up, they're going to be impossible to stop. But now you're going on the road in a short week. And I kind of like the matchup for the Packers defense as well. So to me, this has become more and more of a smash spot as the week has gone on.
Well, lot to get to. One, I think the Packers offensive line, I was pretty impressed with how they held up. They did not give up a sack against Detroit. First time the Lions didn't get a sack since October 2022.
Yeah.
On the other side, Packers had 9 tackles for a loss. So the trench play was very good for the Packers. Ryan, are we going to continue?
Lions couldn't run the ball either.
No. I think the thing that will work for the Redskins is Jaden Daniels scrambling just because of volume. But I think they're going to be able to slow down the rushing attack. I think Austin Eckler is going to get some check down stuff just because I like the Green Bay defense. And this is the oldest roster, the Washington Redskins. Now you're going on the road on a short week. Granted, it's only week 1. I think that Thursday night road stuff matters more later in the season. But LaFleur and the Packers have been good in September, 16-6 ATS. And you look at signs for regression for the Commanders, even though they did win 21-6. 10+ penalties still won the game. That's always a sign. And 10+ penalties at home, still winning the game. That's kind of a sign you might regress here as you go out on the road. I feel pretty good about the matchup here for the Packers. And I think they're Brian, I had totally forgotten about the biting kneecap trend. Do we still continue that? Now it's a new season. Does it carry over? Of course, the last victims of the biting kneecap trend were the Redskins because they played the Lions in the playoffs and they got destroyed, mollywopped, ass kicked They were total cheeks, as the kids say, in the NFC Championship game. So do we continue the biting kneecap trend? Because the biting kneecap trend and Jaden Daniels getting points are like the two, like, if I was building the case for the Redskins, those are the only things I could think of. I wasn't really impressed that much with the Redskins. I guess it's more just, I didn't think the Giants have much of an offense.
Yeah. Again, rewatching that, a lot of the plays were aborted by Russ and his whatever bitchness caused him to just be like, he played like a terrified rookie. And so, yeah, I don't think there's much judgment to be placed there. And so I think the reason that we've seen the line come from 3.5 to 3 is probably the injury report. The young team is much more banged up than the old team.
It's true.
So I could see that being, Thursday night game, but it just, I didn't see Washington didn't play. Giants lost that game. Washington did fine, but Terry McLaurin was clearly a little out of sync with Jaden Daniels. They rely on Zach Ertz basically for every critical play and Jaden's legs. And I think their defense, which I don't expect to be very good this year, is going to get tested a lot. Yeah, a lot more by this Green Bay team.
To your point, like Zach Ertz was getting like veteran rest days before the season. Now they got to go on the road on a short week. I think that's a tough spot.
And Jaden took some shots last week. Like, it's going to add up. So we'll obviously fade the in division rival, but yeah, I'm unfortunately higher on one of the teams I'm going to slightly overreact to is the Packers.
Packers -3. Let's go.
Impressive win week 1. Number 2, head over to Sunday. No Friday game this week, Sean.
Bummer.
We got the Patriots heading down to South Beach to take on the Miami Dolphins, who would be a close your eyes special, but they are favored, Sean. Laying 1.5, -124 on the money line, +104 for the Pats. 43 is the total. In a way that bails us out. And they have the Thursday night game next week, Sean, against the Buffalo Bills.
But also, I don't think this Miami team can look ahead. They got their ass kicked. They got
just
humiliated.
Pointing out that they have and it is a division game. So, here's the scenario.
Yeah,
I thought Christian Gonzalez doesn't sound like he's going to be back.
No,
I thought the defense played pretty well considering he was out. Not knowing what the Raiders offense was last week. I don't want to overreact here because I do think that they're one of the overrated teams this offseason, and they didn't exactly win or cover. Meanwhile, Miami, this has to be the low point of their stock, right? At some point, they're the right side. Tua looked horrible. The team feels like it's very much close to imploding.
they right
don't
guard,
have any secondary.
Their right guard and right tackle are both going to be out,
which seems bad.
Could be an upgrade. Their offensive line was pretty bad.
I just don't. Doesn't Tyreek Hill feast on without Christian Gonzalez out there? But it was supposed to feast last week.
Yeah.
Now they're at home.
I think
this is the clear. Don't overreact to week 1. McDaniels could get fired if they lose this game.
Yeah, I mean McDaniels still will probably end up being the first coach fired. That doesn't mean the Miami Dolphins can't win and cover against this New England Patriots team. Tua has never lost to the Patriots.
I know.
7-0 straight up and ATS, and everyone's talking about how bad Tua looked. I don't think Drake May looked very good. Drake May 11 starts where he's played into the second half. In those 11 games, Pats are 1-10 straight up.
Daniel Jones looked really good against this secondary.
He did. I think their defense was completely out of sorts. But to Mike McDaniel's point, they got humiliated. I think there's some pride on the line for this Miami Dolphins thing, Ryan. We always make the mistake in handicapping professionals where, oh, these guys are total pieces of shit. They're the worst team of all time, and that's when they show up. I mean, that's the spirit of the close your eyes special. These guys are NFL players, NFL teams. They can only be so bad. The Patriots gave up 4 sacks. And just historically, Pats are 17-43 all time in Miami, with most of those wins coming in the 2003 to 2012, aka prime Brady.
Yeah, of course.
And we had this as when we were talking about the Dolphins team preview. The Patriots never do well in Miami in September. The heat and humidity. You can overthink it, and maybe they are the worst team in the NFL. That's certainly a possibility. But even the worst teams in the NFL end up beating division opponents at home. I don't like that this is a favorite. I wish the market would have overreacted a little bit more. Somehow, if they were like a point dog, I would feel a little bit better about this. But Miami is the play. Miami laying 1.5.
This was 2.5 when we did the team preview.
Yeah.
So it's only moved to that. The complete implosion has only caused it to move a point. Yeah, I'm with you. I think the reason I let off with I don't want to forget that New England is an overrated team that just played a home game. Now they take to the road. Yeah,
they didn't look good at home.
I'll take Miami as well, although I do not like it.
Mike in the chat saying 70-1 for no touchdown on DK.
That's incredibly low. For reference, I mean,
usually it's like 100 or 200 to 1.
Usually a low price is 150 to 1.
Well, but also look at the total. The total is 43. Usually when those low no touchdown odds are like
Steelers Jets, which was 38.5 total, that was 150 to 1.
Yeah, and this is 4.5 points higher. They know what they're doing, Ryan.
That's not a
They
good
know
price.
there's a chance both these teams suck.
There's some mispricing right there. Also worth noting, I don't know if you saw how two things. One, you're a Dolphins fan, heads up, Cole Strange wearing 69. So that's a fun jersey. Strange 69.
Everyone loves a Strange 69.
Yeah, also,
reminds me of this one time in high school.
Yeah, what do you put your whole body to sleep? You get numb.
No.
Also, did you hear Shady McCoy said about Tua?
No,
He said he had baby arms.
Oh, now that's going to be tough to. Well, and of course,
I forgot how awesome.
Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback.
Just hits.
I hope Tua's in the league longer, just so we can keep
it.
playing that sound drop.
Yeah. All right. So both on the Dolphins. Next up, another Florida team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, head up to Ohio, take on the Bengals. Cincinnati laying 3.5 minus 180 on the money line. Jags plus 155. 48.5 is the total. Thought the Jags took care of business.
Yeah.
Also thought Cincinnati winning puts them ahead of the curve. They didn't necessarily look. I don't think Cincinnati looked good on either side of the ball.
No. Browns outgained the Bengals by 200 yards. The Bengals had 7 yards of offense in the second half. Joe Burrow, the only quarterback in the league who didn't complete a pass further than 15 yards downfield.
That's a great nugget.
And you have Jamar Chase and T Higgins. I know I don't need to turn everything about Jalen Hurts, but if Jalen Hurts beat the Browns by 1 point, and he had those receivers, and he only had 113 passing yards, and all this shit that Joe Burrow had, they would be trying to they would be coming with their pitchforks and torches.
Wow!
But Joe Burrow, he's got the cool blonde hair, he's got the Batmobile. Everyone loves Joe Cool, and I do like Joe Burrow, but. It's funny how he's not getting enough shit for this lackluster game one
because they usually suck harder.
I guess.
So people are saying nice.
I guess
attaboy.
they didn't lose the game outright, so that's a step up for them. But they didn't. At no point did you feel like they were covering the spread.
Yeah. This is an interesting matchup too, because I think what worked for the Browns in the passing game was the vertical passing game, which I think is going to be. Again, the Jags were both. I think both secondary, like the passing game, should be good both ways. I worry a little bit. I can't take much from the Jags' performance against the Panthers. I think their offensive line was banged up, and I think the Panthers' offense might not be that good. But
and Jags are also the team 10+ penalties still won. I think
they dominated that game. We talked about this in the recap. I thought you can say that people are going to overreact to that, but they took care of business in a spot that I think a lot of people would have been unsurprised to see them not take care of business. What I worry about in this game though is can they keep up in a shootout if their secondary can't hold up?
Well, and I guess that's also the concern for the Jags in general is what is that secondary going to look like? They talked about they're going to try and give Travis Hunter more defensive snaps. So what does that mean for him on the offensive side of the ball? So what is he going to be out there covering Jamar Chase and T Higgins at some point?
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's why you drafted him, to have him play both sides of the football. But then is that going to impact your offense? I think for me though, really, you just look at Joe Flacco. He was carving up this Bengals defense. The defense still looks very bad. Now Trey Hendrickson had a good game, got a lot of pressure there. I think the fact that Flacco is so immobile hurt them a little bit on the Browns offense. I think Trevor Lawrence could end up scrambling a little bit.
Well, we hit that over on rushing yards last week. Hard to not want to run it back this week. But I think specifically it was the vertical passing. It was the down the field stuff that was giving the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals, also the run game for I like the Jags offense versus the Bengals defense. And I understand that a lot of people will probably say the correct side here is the Bengals. Don't overreact. They always play poorly against the Browns.
You always say lay 3.5. Don't take.
I know, and I can see the argument of, well, we should completely ignore what we saw because the Bengals always struggle against the Browns. They've only beaten them in Cleveland once. Now twice,
but they also always struggle those first two games.
I know. And I'm giving both sides. Also, you make a great point about laying the 3.5. Oh, this apparently this opened at 5.5, which I don't know. Sometimes the openers are a little fugazi, but I will tell you this on the look ahead. This was I believe this was 3.5 this summer. I'm going to pull it up just to confirm because I don't think it was 5.5 this summer. So. It has come down. Are 2 points too much for the?
I'll still take the Jags. I like their defensive line. I think the Jaguars defensive line against the Bengals offensive line, I think, is going to be the matchup that makes the difference.
Early, I mean, this could be a playoff matchup this year.
Well, you do have the Jags. You have the Jags winning the Super Bowl, Ryan. So they would probably at least,
which I did pick up that exact.
At some point, probably play the Bengals.
Well, in my world, they play in the conference finals.
Oh, okay.
So the AFC Championship game is.
So we're getting a preview of the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I'm tempted to surprise people and take the Bengals, but I will be on the Jags as well.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't week 2, I would maybe consider taking the Bengals, but the slow starts continue. I don't. They tried to play in preseason, it didn't help. So yeah, give me the Jags plus 3.5. Kramer always going to be on the Jags. Don't let him fool you with his. I might surprise you.
Minus 3.5 did give me some pause.
Yeah, that's your catchphrase.
I like that. All right, next up, in an eerily similar situation to last year, coming off a loss. They go home, the Ravens, and they take on a team where they're laying a huge number. This time it's 11.5.
Can't lose to. It was so annoying because they kept bringing up these situations where the Ravens are one of the few teams to be up 10 in the fourth quarter and still lose the game. Harbaugh leads the league in those stats in recent time, and I kept thinking about those motherfuckers losing to the Raiders to Gardner Minshew at home after a loss with extra rest.
Truly unbelievable. Knocked us out of Survivor. Hard to ever forget. But this year it's Cleveland coming to town. All sorts of drama to talk about. Joe Flacco revenge.
Joe Flacco.
Cleveland catching 11.5 points. Holy crap. Plus 575 on the money line. Baltimore minus 800. 45 is the total. Baltimore for 3 quarters looked like the best team in football by a wide margin. All the power ratings were correct. They are the clear number 1 team, and then they ravened. And normally they don't raven early in the year, but they ravened hard.
No, they ravened last year.
Not as bad as this. 22-6 in the fourth quarter. They allowed the why am I completely blanking? The Bills to be the first team in NFL history to come back from 15 points in 4.5 minutes and win in overtime.
Yeah, no regular time.
or not need overtime. Excuse me.
Teams with 40+ points, 235 rushing yards in a game, 277-0, including the playoffs. Now 277-1, and
It's such a ridiculous metric. They have to be a little rattled, right?
so there are some trends out there. Teams that blow a 10-point lead in week 1 actually do end up bouncing back. Straight up ATS, but to me, this wasn't like a 10-point lead. Like the Bears, you could kind of make that case. Hey, it was a 10-point lead, the 11-point lead, whatever. Things got away from. This was a historic collapse. This is an ESPN classic game.
Also, though, as we were watching, I honestly, I was kind of joking, but as the Ravens were scoring, I was like, they're scoring too fast.
I said it on the recap show. I go, I think there was a mistake by when the Bills didn't get the 2-point conversion. That was almost a mistake by the Ravens, stopping them from getting the 2-point, because then they played super conservative. They didn't go for it on 4th down to try and end the game, even though they had Lamar Jackson. He was cramping up, didn't have the Midal on the sideline, and so. Now you punt to the Bills. Meanwhile, if the game was tied, the Ravens would be aggressive. They would have driven down the field, and they would have probably kicked the game-winning field goal.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Todd Monken has his butthole tightens up in these moments, and they ran a jet sweep. When that play happened, you're like, oh my God, they're completely choking.
And shout out to Dilly Daggers. I didn't forget the Flacco most passing yards in the division, Sean.
You play that every year.
And especially this year. It's going to be off to a good start, because I think this Browns team might be able to throw on this Ravens secondary. Kind of lost in the whole thing was how bad the Ravens defense played.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry looked unstoppable, but on the other side, they couldn't slow down. They couldn't slow down anyone in the Bills receiving game. Right.
Neither team seemed to be playing much defense, but yeah, I mean, I think again, Flag, we 235.5. His total was week 1. He went for 290.
Yeah.
I certainly think, assuming the offensive line can keep him upright, a little concerning that the Browns have 3 tackles on the injury report. One is just for rest, but, and it does sound like they're all going to be available, but it's all about Flacco staying upright. And I worry a little bit about the Ravens, but this is now year 2, right? Like Mike McDonald leaves, and they haven't really been able to figure it out since.
Harbaugh coach is a little scared too.
Listening to Dick Puncher, it seemed like Jair Alexander was getting roasted out there.
Oh yeah, he led the league. Now some of that was because they had 85 plays of the Bills offense, but he was behind Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson 103 receiving yards he gave up. Jair Alexander was second, 100 receiving yards, and I think Tillman's gonna have a good game. I think Harold Fannin Jr. is gonna have a game.
Great call by us on Harold Fannin, and worth watching on the injury report. I mean, Matabuke he's an important defensive lineman, but fullback Ricard not practicing, Sean. So keep an eye on that. He matters to the offense. I mean, I understand the case to just say the Ravens are going to come back and absolutely boat race them, but I don't know. I mean, Joe Flacco was on point. Those were drops. The interception was a drop. The reason they didn't win the game was a drop with missed field goals. And did you see that stat for Stefanski, how good he is in 1-score games when the kicker doesn't miss a kick? I mean, obviously probably pretty self-explanatory, but the kickers have really screwed over the Browns a ton. I
mean, I'm always going to be inclined to take double-digit division dogs, but I think this is a
Flacco is very underrated right now.
Yeah, I think this is a tough spot for them, and maybe it's not a look ahead because the Browns are a division opponent, but they do have a big Monday night game against the Lions coming up, the Ravens. So maybe they're looking slightly ahead, and the Ravens, like the Bengals, have started out slow in these first couple of weeks. I'm on the Browns. Give me the Browns plus 11.5.
Same. It's a primetime sandwich spot.
It is.
Yeah.
You're right. Between 2 primetime games, and now you got a sleepy little 10 a.m. West Coast kick for the Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. Of course, if you're looking to get down on this game or any games, head over to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code SGPN. The prop builder, really sweet, very fun. You can get lost building some really degen stuff over there. And listen, their slogan is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Of course, score 100% bet back bonus up to $500. Terms and conditions apply. Use that promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. They got the live casino. Had a lot of fun last week, Ryan, doing our live blackjack Patreon degen session. I was up and down we played for an entire hour. I was doing like $100 hands, $50 hands.
We had some fun.
I ended up $2.50. It was a wild ride. Of course, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Of course, Rhythm continues to kill it with sides, totals, props. Love Rhythm. Very fun, very easy to use. You go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get your 7-day free trial. You're not going to regret it. And the NFL is back, of course. We don't need to tell you that, but we do need to tell you. They got this new leaderboard with cash prizes for tracking your bets in the app. All you do, make your own model, track 5 bets, the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. That's right. Why would you not want to win 1,000? I mean, you're already making these picks. It's great to have data as part of your process, right? Because I still think you need a little ball watching, and that's what's fun. For me, what's fun about it is well, look at this, Ryan.
Say ball washing?
No.
Checking.
Oh, well, I am ball washing Rhythm here. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com for a good reason. Get your 7-day free trial. Rhythm likes the Jets, getting 6.5 points as a division home dog there. The Rhythm is gonna betcha. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
All right, Sean. We have a number of games. I didn't bring this up at the beginning, but there are 9 games in the early window. A little bit of a bone to pick with the commissioner. We've talked about this before. 8-4 greater than 9-3. Don't really appreciate the extra. I see what you're doing, but don't really appreciate it. Moving along to the next game on the window. Giants Cowboys. Real dumpster fire here. Giants come back-to-back road spot, mind you, are catching 6 points. This one I believe opened at 4.5. Did get bet up. Giants +6 +215 on the money line. Cowboys -250 coming off Thursday night, so a little extra rest as well. 44.5 is the total. This has to be one of the lower Cowboy totals where both teams have their quote starting quarterbacks in a while. Cowboys getting all the money. One of the few teams I've marked this week as a public team.
The Cowboys. They are America's team,
over
80%
of the bets. That's line movement pushing it out. So. And I don't think the line, the push stops. Probably, I wonder if when we get to Vegas, this is closer to 7. But the Cowboys' offensive line and specifically the tackles, look like they could get wrecked by the Giants defense, who did not play disastrous. And Dexter Lawrence was not on the field a ton. He just had a baby today, by the way.
Really? I didn't know he was
working his. Well, he's a big guy, He had to get that baby out.
No, congrats to him for his baby.
Yeah, had a baby today, so he's playing for a new kid. Fine, they're gonna.
A woman he impregnated was the one that had the baby.
Well, one of it took a huge shit. I don't know, but also he's projected to get a decent increase in his snap count. Why did Abdul Carter not play more? I mean. It would have been great to see him play more. When you look at the pass rush numbers, he actually had more pass rush opportunities than Brian Burns. But get him out there more. He almost blocked 2 punts, blocked another. Definitely want to get him out there because I think the way you attack the Cowboys team is these tackles. And so, and honestly, like the way that whoever they're playing at tackle 2, defensive tackle 2, or on the interior on the line, I'd rather have Abdul Carter there with a chance to penetrate and stop the run game too. So get him out there more.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
I'm obviously not taking the Cowboys here, so we can move on from the portion where I talk about the team. But here's what I would say.
I want to get your take. What is what optimism do you have about the Cowboys? Or the Giants? Did you you didn't mention?
I shouldn't have watched that game again.
You didn't mention anything on offense.
Shouldn't have watched that game again.
Malik Neighbors, shout out to Malik Neighbors, a very entertaining guy. Said he wasn't mad in week 1. He is just NBF.
So in
natural bitch face.
In fairness to him, this isn't the first. It's funny that the aggregators work, but he made a similar comment like this last year when he was looking pissed off on the sideline.
He should be pissed off. They got their ass kicked. I don't have a problem with a guy being pissed off on the sidelines.
He got 12 targets. He didn't have a good game, and yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he be pissed off?
I would be pissed off if I was on the Giants.
I think
you didn't score a touchdown for the third opening,
which is an unreal
game in a row.
To go to the 40s to find a team that's done that before, I believe. And I would again shouldn't have watched the tape again. Russ had opportunities. A lot of those sacks were on Russ. A lot of those broken plays were on Russ. I think they're doing dumb bullshit where, instead of putting Andrew Thomas on the pup, we want to be secretive about the information. So we're going to activate him, even though we don't plan to play him for 3 weeks. You can't put Jackson Dart out there without Andrew Thomas. That's probably not a sharp move. And so, yeah, I have no idea. Best case scenario, I guess the hand gets forced.
What do you mean the hand gets forced?
I think if Russ comes out and looks like hot ass in this game, I think Dable's very close.
Of course, he was ready to put him in the second half. That's why it was crazy when you said they're going to wait till week 18 to play Jackson Dart.
It was unclear to me that Russ was going to turn into a little schoolgirl and be scared at the first sign of penetration.
I would say this. I actually think there's some fun value in a Russell Wilson. We'll talk about it in the prop show, but a Russell Wilson anytime touchdown, because Russ is a desperate man, to Kramer's point, who's running around pretty scared back there. And the Cowboys lead the league last year, and of course they gave up 2 to Jalen Hurts in opening night, to giving up rushing touchdowns to the quarterback. So I would not be now. Certainly, you're betting on the Giants to score a touchdown, which is you got to get some pretty good odds on that. We'll see what the price opens for him, but I think that could be a fun play. I will say this:
Dak also generally plays well against the Giants.
Dak does.
Yeah, he'll throw. I'm expecting. I am expecting the defense to be fine. There just needs to be an attacking.
Deron Bland looks like he's going to be out for the Cowboys.
Practice injury.
This is a good nugget for you. Teams that covered as dogs in week 1 but are now favorites. Week 2 have gone 3-11 ATS when laying more than a field goal, 1-6 ATS. Ryan. So that was the only positive thing I could find about taking the New York Giants.
Number still seems short.
You have to score points usually to cover 6.
We can't overreact, Sean.
I do like the under here. Not a huge total guy, but I think this could get ugly a little bit.
88% on the Cowboys.
Oh, so that's the only reason to take the Giants is no one's betting on them. I'll take the Giants because Dallas sucks, but Kramer, I mean, order your Jackson jersey now, because when he gets named the starter next week, you're going to want to have that jersey.
I'm prepared with jerseys.
You will have a Jackson Dart jersey?
When people earn their stripes, the jersey will make it. The locker is not filled with fucking bums.
Who's in the locker right now?
Eli.
Okay.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Oh, okay. You're still a Thibodeau guy?
Love Thibodeau.
All right.
Played well against the run yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the other reason.
Sunday.
The Cowboys can't run the ball. So I'll take the Giants because Dallas sucks. But Kramer, you guys could be in trouble. The team looks pretty bad. Why? I mean, they should just fire Dable. I don't think this is working out.
The whole point of them the second you keep him, you're keeping him to develop the quarterback that you letting him draft. So the better answer is,
I guess to me, it's like, what did he do to deserve that opportunity?
That's past though. Like, once you make that decision, we had this conversation in the off season. You got to reset with the quarterback. The second you don't reset with the quarterback, you create this weird timeline. So, I mean, it's basically what the Bears just went through. And the difference is Jackson Dart, dog, absolute dog. I guess he'll be here soon. I guess my notes were wrong on the 17 game thing. Next up, my notes aren't always right.
Russ looks bad, Ryan.
Yeah. Give me. Why not give us Jameis?
Yeah, Jameis is at least entertaining. Jameis would have thrown the football. The Russ not throwing the football was the He wasn't that scared.
He had deep shots. They were there. He just
jumping out of the pocket.
He underthrew.
Heard footsteps.
I mean, that I don't know if you saw that clip of Sierra defending him or whatever. Yeah, that's his wife. She looks like an asshole right now. Real asshole. Rams, Titans, a little revenge from the past, as Brian Callahan was I believe coached Matt Stafford up in Detroit. Rams now laying 6 points on the road here against Cam Ward, who I'd say looked fun, but a lot of the things we called out showed up in that first game. They're plus 215 on the money line. 42 is the total. I question for you, Sean.
Yes.
It's going to give it away a little bit because we're talking about a team, but something crazy happened last week.
Okay.
Every quarterback in the NFL had a rushing attempt.
Okay.
That has not happened in decades. I tried to, I couldn't go past 85. How many of those quarterbacks only had kneel downs? So remarkable that, because we even had backups go in the game and they got
Stafford having a QB sneak was one of the more surprising ones.
Yeah.
So you're asking how many?
Yeah. Well, I bring up Stafford because he's the one that you might guess only had kneel downs, but he did in fact have a sneak. There are two guys who only had kneel downs.
Two guys who only had kneel downs. So I would assume it would be a team that won.
One lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to randomly say Joe Burrow,
Aaron Rodgers, and Jared Goff.
Oh, okay.
First half kneel down. So, but how crazy is that? I bring it up because Stafford had every quarterback had a rushing attempt.
That is wild. Yeah.
Modern NFL.
So Rams, Titans. For me, it's interesting to look at this Titans team, right? Because you could say, oh, hey, they hung around with the Broncos. That's a good sign. But then also they only had 133 yards of offense. They lost 131 yards on 13 penalties. Callahan didn't realize he confronted a reporter in the press game saying, well, yeah, he just had his elbow down. He didn't realize the elbow counts for 2 feet for being in bounds.
We're on to this guy.
Yeah, I still think he's a pretty bad coach. The positive though is Cam Ward looked competent. I think he has a lot of confidence. He held on to the ball too long. He took a bunch of sacks. He did the kind of Caleb Williams thing where you run around a bunch and should have gotten rid of the ball, should have been quicker there. But I mean, it's his first start. It's on the road. He took 6 sacks and only had 112 passing yards. Joined the list of Clayton Tune, Justin Fields as quarterbacks with 6 sacks and 112 passing yards or less. I would say though, I think Titans O-line, it was okay. I mean, some of those sacks I felt were kind of more on Cam Ward. On the other side, I thought the Titans defense and defensive line played pretty good. I mean, they had some sloppy moments, but in general, I thought they did a good job of creating turnovers against Bo Nix. I thought they did a good job against the Broncos. Have a good offensive line, and the Titans D line got in there. And then you look at the Rams. The Rams, both guards for the Rams are dealing with high ankle issues. And of course, the narrative here, you want to talk about all-time sandwich spot. The Rams, even themselves, Kobe Turner in July saying the Rams have the week 3 rematch with the Eagles circled. So I think the Rams are already kind of looking past this Titans team. Now you have a non-conference road favorite, which is always a tough spot to cover. McVay in general has been good on the East Coast, straight up ATS. They certainly are the better team, but I think I'm gonna go Titans in the 6.
Both teams have critical guys on the injury reports, like you mentioned, the offensive lineman for the Rams, but I mean, tackle Latham also on the injury report, did not practice for the Titans. Sweat, who is a big man in the middle, big part of that run defense, did not practice. So I think to your point on just in general, if this Tennessee I think I don't know who it was. I think it was Harold Landry was talking about it, but essentially when they played It was not Harold Landry, but one of the Titans defenders was talking about playing the Broncos and how the goal was not to like pressure Bo Nix. It was to keep him in the pocket. And their defensive scheme really worked. Like you said, they look pretty good against the Broncos, but I don't know if that's the Broncos offense starting slow or if that's really the Titans defense. And I think this is a much bigger test. You're not going to like the strategy of not rushing the quarterback and keeping him in the box because he's going to make a mistake. That's not going to work against Stafford. Puka looked awesome. Devontae Adams looked like he was all the way. There was a play where it looked like he was going to get jacked up and he just brushed it off. The running game is still there. I think even if the offensive line is banged up, they'll be fine. They'll find a way to scheme it up because I don't necessarily think the Titans have a strong pass rush. And so, and this is another one where I wonder where the money is going to end up landing on this one. If you had to guess who's getting the early week money,
Rams,
but it's not as far apart as you would think. And so, one, I want to know who's betting on the Titans. But two, yeah, in fact, at the circa 52% of the bets and 69% of the money is on the Titans.
Sharp money.
And so
sharp, Ryan, careful.
But I can't do it.
Taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams. And you're going to feel silly when Brian Callahan and this team shows up. Now I will say the one part of the offense you didn't mention that I thought Tony Pollard looked good.
Yeah.
Had some explosiveness, but Cam Ward is going to make a ton of mistakes versus this defense because they're going to get after the pass rush is going to get after him.
It's going to be hot.
I appreciate your look ahead spot.
No,
but
when guys are talking about that in the offseason, both Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, the fact that they're like, we cannot wait till that week 3 game.
I get it, but I think they're coming off a game where they played an elite defense.
Right.
And now they're going against
the temperature in Nashville on Sunday.
I don't know. 92.
96 degrees.
Okay.
Thermometer game.
They're coming from Los Angeles.
Yeah, where they play in cool, balmy weather. They play in a dome.
It's been hot out here.
No, it's not. You're wearing a hoodie indoors.
I'm acclimated to the dry heat. It's been a little humid out here too.
You're insane.
Well, we have climate control in here. Game number 6 in the early window. The Buffalo Bills on the road against the New York Jets. Jets catching 6.5 plus 250 on the money line. Buffalo minus 300. 46.5 is the total. Colby using the toy helmets this week. I mean, this does feel like the classic letdown spot. Buffalo also looking ahead to that Thursday game against Miami.
Yeah. Primetime sandwich spot, much like the Ravens.
Yes, much like the Ravens. The Jets look scrappy.
Oh yeah.
Now what I gotta ask is the Steelers was that more of the Steelers defense not being ready to go, or were the Jets really that good on offense in spite of losing Elijah Vera Tucker at the end of the preseason?
Yeah, I think. Well, and I was talking to Thomas Viola, who's is in the gambling space. He's a Jets fan,
Jets
and I
guy.
go, I was on the fence between Steelers, Jets. The Vera Tucker injury was the one. He's like, no, it's not that big of a deal. The center competition, it was neck and neck. They're just going to kick that guy over to guard. Membu, their right tackle, apparently did a great job against TJ Watt.
All the film guys said he was the winner of week 1 in terms of the rookies.
And they just looked, I mean, yes, they lost, but I mean, if you've watched Jets football, that looked like a new breed of Jets football. Now, certainly they had their own issues on the defensive side. That game was weird in general, but I think there is some, Jets are the classic team you want to bet on in that they dominated yards per play and still lost the game. 6.4 yards per play compared to the Steelers 5.0. And then you just look at what Lamar Jackson did against his Buffalo Bills defense, 6 for 70 and a touchdowns. Justin Fields, I think, is going to be able to run all over this Bills defense. Like the Bills defense hasn't gotten any healthier since week 1. Yeah, Josh Allen pulled out the cape and did heroic shit to put that team on his back at home in a primetime game. And now the Bills kind of dumped the Gatorade, right? They how could you not after that game? And now you got to go on the road against a division dog. I mean, home dogs in general, home division dogs, all the stuff you want to look at. It's a great spot for them. And Yeah, the Jets probably should have won that Steelers game. Steelers hit a 60-yard field goal, but they were competitive.
If they win that game, what do you think this number is?
Probably not a huge move. I mean, maybe I don't know, 6. I think the Bills were always going to be favored by a decent amount at the Jets because 1, it's the Jets, and 2, the Bills have Josh Allen. But Josh Allen has not dominated at New York. New York, if you want to say any team in the division has had Josh Allen's number, it might be the Jets.
This was 8.5 when we did the team when they opened back in the spring, and I think the Jets in general. I mean, you talk about the success over the last couple of years at home. Last year they lost by 3. Before that, won by 6 in overtime. Before that, won by 3. And so recent form, and those were some bad Jets teams. So I'm kind of with you. I think the one area where I'd be a little concerned is that I think a lot of the Lamar rushing was because he was shredding them with his arm as well.
But Justin Fields threw the ball really well.
Yeah, I just it's so hard for me to believe that's going to continue. And when watching the Steelers game back, I do think the Steelers defense had a bad game.
Yeah.
And not because
but
of
I think Breece Hall looked really good.
I think the running game looked good. And
yeah.
I think that's why you take it here. I think this is probably not a totals guy, but I would like for the Bills to come out and only score like 17 points after that crazy ass game.
If the Bills ended up losing 40-25 and they were coming off a loss, like they didn't have that miracle comeback. I mean, in general, I'm always going to fade teams coming off miracle comeback wins. And this is, and you have the division angle. And I think there's a decent number of matchups that favor the Jets. So Jets, Jets, give me the Jets 6.5.
You prefer your letdown spots to have something in the future as well. So I mean, it does make sense. And that game was you just had like definitely emotion came out. some what was that guy's hat say? I think the Bills might have come a little bit.
What? Because they got bullied.
They did get bullied there for 3 quarters.
Did.
They came a little bit, and then they came all the way back.
So you're on the Jets, Ryan.
I'm on the Jets plus 6.5.
I feel like you're mostly saying bad stuff about the Jets.
No, I'm pointing out as to why I like the line has come in from this was an 8.5 point spread back in the summer. Now it's 6.5. I also just Justin Fields doing good stuff like consistently week in and week out scares me. Now I do like Aaron Glenn cutting a dude for fumbling,
but also I think
sets the tone. I
think that 6 game sample size we saw from Justin Fields last year with the Steelers, I think he's kind of picking up where he left off there and even better than what he did in those 6 games. So I don't think it's crazy. It's crazy compared to like what we saw in Chicago, but I think this is in line with what he did last year with the Steelers, slightly better.
I guess what I mean is if this game becomes like the idea that Justin Fields is performing well in shootouts week in and week out, that would worry me. And so if this turns into a shootout, which it very well could, I have less confidence, but plenty of points. And this number would have been good the last 3 years without Justin Fields and with much worse quarterback play. Game 7, Chicago coming off that Monday night disaster, taking on the Detroit Lions, who did not look very good themselves. -5.5 for the Lions, -235 on the money line. 2-1 is the money line for the Bears. 47 is the total. This is the confusing one, because if I don't overreact, the Lions will be fine. That's what Dan Campbell told me repeatedly.
He was really mad in the press conference. The guy, the like nerdy reporter guy's like, "Well, what do you think? The offense wasn't as creative. Do you guys miss it? You say that after one game? What was not as creative? Well, you don't think we use motion?" He was really fired up, man. It was pretty great.
He was getting ready to shove someone in the locker. I think what we saw when Ben Johnson went from being able to, like, everything was clearly scripted for a while. I mentioned this to you on the recap show and actually it was the Thursday night prop show. And I mentioned it to you in the office, but it seemed like early there was always like a count to 3. And if the nothing's there, go here.
Yeah.
And then that went away in the second half, and he went back to looking like, oh my God, like The good throws are so good.
Well,
and then the bad is so bad.
And I saw someone breaking down some film of it, and I think what I would say about Caleb is that he's almost a victim of his own arm talent, right?
Yeah.
Like they were breaking down how he's aimed at this, but his feet aren't set and pointing at the target. Like he got away with so many sloppy habits at USC because he just had this cannon of an arm and he could get away with those throws. And you can't do that here in the NFL. You can't be late. And Ben Johnson, any sort of optimism I had for the Chicago Bears is that he would be up his ass, and he was. And there was, the scripted plays look great. I thought he had some other moments where he looked solid, but Ben Johnson, as he said, needed to call more runs. I think the game flow got away from them. The defense was interesting. I thought the Bears defense played pretty solid,
just
but
checked
then
out in the second half.
But then
I have no idea what
they
that
lost.
Was.
They lost the DB in the second half. I think that was crushing them.
Jalen Johnson is practicing this week, so
that's huge. I mean, not having him and then losing another cornerback at the right was really brutal. But then on the other side, the Lions coming off a loss. They've been 10-0 ATS.
Yeah,
coming off after a loss. But then on the other side, like teams blowing 10-point leads week 1 have actually rebounded decently in week 2. You have the angle of Jared Goff, and something I brought up in the offseason. Jared Goff has not covered a game, and he's played 20 games in his NFL career without Sean McVay or Ben Johnson. 0 covers. Now maybe that's data framing or whatever, but Jared Goff, Ryan,
how many games has he played without those guys?
20, 19-1. So that's a bit of a red flag. And as a guy who's an investor in Jared Goff Sucks Island, that is music to my ears. There was a lot of calls early and often throughout the entire Lion game. Hey, get the phone. Can is it still safe to go on Jared Goff Sucks Island? Oh, we're keeping a place. I am never selling. And then on the other side, Lions,
music.
And that guy went to jail, so I don't think he can sue us.
No.
Lions didn't have a sack in the game, as I mentioned earlier. In a weird way, of the Lions offense, Lions defense, Bears offense, Bears defense, I kind of think the Bears defense was the best unit of those 4.
Yeah, but one team. I mean, I guess. Do you think I think the Packers are much better than the Vikings, and I think what we saw.
That's fair.
What we saw was the Vikings just out adjusted this team, and so if you're telling me that the teacher isn't going to play you think Dan Campbell's going to lose to a fucking guy that he just let go get this job?
Well, but then Ben Johnson clearly made it a point to stay in the division. He had other opportunities.
I think he just wanted Caleb Williams, which he's going to rue that.
Well, compared
process.
to what were the other coaching quarterback situations? You want to be?
The
Who would you rather have?
Jaden Daniels, he turned that down.
That was a poor decision by his part. This year, Tyler Shuck.
I don't. It doesn't matter. I can't bet on this guy. When that halftime interview, I'm cooked.
Caleb,
I'm betting against. Halftime interview with Ben Johnson.
I don't know if I can take.
He sounded like he had no idea what was going on. I think the Lions are a good team. They just ran into an excellent Packers team that beat the shit out of them, which is awesome for Dan Campbell coaching all week. This is the most obvious spot. That's why the numbers come out a little bit. -5.5 with the Lions. Come on.
I'm taking the Bears. Give me the Bears.
Oh, this is gonna. Come on, you're gonna have 2 regretful. That's a regretful decision. That and the Titans. I'll remind you on Sunday. Okay. Game number 8. The Seahawks head to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. This was a good Super Bowl once upon a time. The original refs are terrorists moment, probably. I remember how mad people.
Look at Colby phoning in with that helmet. What is that?
It's the Steelers logo's on the other side. Everyone.
That's so dumb.
It's on the right side.
But look at that. That's horrible.
I know, but the logo's only on the right side of the helmet.
It's a black helmet on a black screen with no other identifiable marks.
It's looking in a way where it would be on the other side.
No, I understand. No, it's you could put it on either side. It depends on your perspective.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
The Steelers logo is only on one side of the helmet.
Yes.
It's on the right side. So if you're looking like the helmet is oriented, it would be.
We don't know where this photo is taken. It could be on the other side.
I don't understand what you mean. And you think they flipped the photo around? I'm looking at the helmet. The helmet's looking to the left, which means the right is hidden.
This is dumb that it's a black thing.
Well, you should take that up with the artist.
I will.
This was his, and I think he wanted to be realistic and keep the logo on the side of the helmet it would be on, which is the other side. We just can't see it. Pittsburgh laying 3. Tomlin favorite 2 weeks in a row. Start ringing the bell.
The road favorite was the real red flag.
-155 in the money line. Seattle +135. 40 is the total. When I looked back at the Seattle San Francisco game, I think San Francisco was more the reason why that was a close game. Even
all those missed kicks,
and
they were moving the ball.
And I think about Sam Darnold against this Pittsburgh defense, even though Justin Fields just had success with it. It makes me think this is another. I said to you before the show, I said this is I don't think I said interesting, but I said this is a boring week, something like that, because it's all just system plays. It's all just system. I'm never going to take Seattle over Pittsburgh. What are we talking about?
Well, and anytime I was kind of talking myself into Seattle, like, okay, maybe the defense is all right. And then I just kept saying Sam Darnold in Seattle without the support group that he had in Minnesota, it's not going to work out. And then can't use in the same way Nick Bosa knocked that ball, shoved the tackle into him, and he fumbled. Can't you see TJ Watt doing that in this game? I don't think TJ Watt's going to have 2 bad back-to-back games, and he looked rough. So, and in a weird way, Seattle actually has been better ATS on the road than at home. But that's because usually they're factoring in some value, and I don't see it, man. This Seattle team, I think we're going to see a much better effort from the Steelers defense, and the Steelers kicking game is very good. Like all the kind of stuff you need to cover a 3-point game, I think the Steelers have, and I think Tomlin is still a better coach. So now Steelers, they have some safety. Deshaun Elliott, he's going to miss a couple weeks.
What I worry about is but this is Aaron Rodgers getting smashed around a little bit.
Yeah, and certainly
he took some bad sacks in that game against the Jets.
Yeah, no, certainly the
also
Jets
looked really good.
Kind of why I like the Jets still. I think the Jets D line did get to Aaron Rodgers, but to his credit, they ran a bunch of play action where he succeeded, and 8 of 10 for 101 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 INTs. They used a bunch of screens very efficiently. Jaylen Warren getting involved in the passing game. There's going to be so much juice for the Steelers team as a home opener, and the Seahawks non-conference road game on the other side of the country. You're going to need to give me more than 3 points. Give me the Steelers laying the 3.
It appears that the circa, more so than everywhere else, is taking Seahawks money early.
Okay, I don't see it.
What? Who's rushing to the window to get that 3?
Not me.
It's not going anywhere, buddy. Game number 9. We'll have to pull out the teardrop this weekend, Sean. The Niners on a back-to-back road spot, and also one of the very, very public sides, which probably a little issues with the data with the quarterback news.
Because I'm seeing a lot of people betting the Saints now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
with Purdy out,
I think there was maybe early in the week people were grabbing it, not knowing, and then information has come out. Purdy, I mean, what's the official? Unlikely to play. San Francisco laying 4.5, -225 on the money line. Saints +195. 42.5 is the total. I'm just realizing that I pulled this number before the injury news came out. Yeah, so let's update this. It's -3, and it's now 41. My God. So San Francisco -3.
Yes.
41 is the total. Mac Jones is the starter, road favorite.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Well, is
he better than Spencer Rattler?
I think so. Yeah. Mac Jones has won games in the NFL, Ryan. Spencer Rattler's still 0-8. As far as matchups, of course, everyone's hurt for the 49ers. They got rid of their shitty kicker, Moody, which is huge for them. Shanahan,
ice cold.
I like Shanahan better than Kellen Moore. Now the 49ers haven't covered back-to-back games, but I do think James Conner had a good game against the Saints defense. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to get like 25 to 30 touches. They're just going to until his Achilles tendons falls off, they're going to ride him into the ground.
Shanahan can have a good offense with a bad quarterback. That's
what he thrives on. And
is Mac Jones any worse than Brock Purdy?
That's the real handicap, Ryan. McCorkle, remember his name is McCorkle. You'll recall back in 2021, there was all these rumors. Oh, it's 49ers. Shanahan loves Mac Jones. Can't wait to get his hands on Mac Jones. They trade up for a quarterback.
Yep.
But they don't say what quarterback they want. They said they haven't decided yet.
That's the craziest part of the story.
Yeah, which is insane. And they got very lucky that they got Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy the last pick. Otherwise, they wouldn't have jobs. So everyone thinks they're going to take Mac Jones. Messed up my mock draft because I was getting decent information, or so I thought that they were going to take Mac Jones.
People covering the team off the record, sharing information.
Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. He was talked out of it, and they selected Trey Lance. What better way to show he was right about Mac Jones than having some success with McCorkle Jones, right?
Again, Jimmy G. This is the Jimmy G rule. Jimmy G has never been a good quarterback in the National Football League. He's just backed up Tom Brady and good looking. And Shanahan made it work.
Faustino, who's a 49ers fan, saying, Mac Jones, we are done. I'll take the Saints. I'm tired of these injuries. Yeah, I mean, everyone kept saying, oh, the 49ers injury luck. It has to come back. They lost the most games. You're not going to do that back. Most games adjusted lost the injury. They're not going to happen back to back.
So are we really going to lay 3 with San Francisco here?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I was rewatching the Saints game. The Spencer Rattler definitely makes some throws where you're like, you could be all right. And then he makes some throws where you're like, oh yeah, you're Spencer Rattler. We also have some media we wanted to
yes.
To talk about
and of course, Ryan, when we did our Survivor episode, we mapped out our Survivor and we have week 2 taking the 49ers. So obviously with the news of Brock Purdy,
are we still taking them?
Well, that's why I reached out to our 49ers expert, Katie. I texted her. I go, Katie, can we still trust the 49ers in Survivor? And Katie, as she's been known to do in her group text, fires off a voice memo back to us, giving her breakdown as to whether or not we can trust the 49ers this week in Survivor.
No, I'm sorry.
I was stretching so long.
You were. That's not your fault. It's the clunky shit over here. So all right.
You know, I don't know anybody that really.
Let's restart that.
Yes.
I mean, on one hand, it's the fucking Saints, so it's like the defense should be able to do its thing against Spencer Rattler, and hopefully be able to limit what Kamara is able to do. On offense, I don't know anybody that really feels like they can trust Mac Jones, but at least he's got someone like CMC. Y'all were right about Ricky Pearsall. That looked pretty good. You got what's his name that we just signed, Kendrick Bourne. At least he's worked with Mac before. Can we trust? I would say I don't fucking know. I mean, it's risky.
So not necessarily a huge vote of confidence, Ryan, but
I would say that's caught her in a moment.
Yeah, I get it, but I'll say this.
Did you mention our implied value is $1,007?
No, I didn't. Well, part of the implied value was us losing our other Survivor entry on the Dolphins.
It's called insurance, Sean.
If you remember, Mac Jones came in for T-Law for a few games last year, and Brian Thomas, the guy who really unlocked Brian Thomas. I mean, Brian Thomas did much better with Mac Jones than with Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, that's a little bit exaggerated, but he had a couple of good games.
You don't think he did better with Mac Jones than Trevor Lawrence? He was not doing as well. Now, maybe it's because it's the second half of the season and he was a rookie, but he had his biggest games with Mac Jones.
Okay. I mean, I think this game is Mac Jones hand the ball off, Mac Jones dump it off to McCaffrey.
I think they'll let him throw the Pearsall.
Maybe. I think the less he passes, the better for us.
Okay.
He's still Mac Jones.
McCorkle
still lives. But I think the system just carries. Well, what I worry about a little bit though is this isn't the same system. They didn't have the same level of ease.
3 of his 4 100-yard games came with Mac Jones.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying he did a good job of unlocking Brian Thomas, and I think
they don't have Brian Thomas.
I think Ricky Pearsall is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, Brian Thomas is an elite wide receiver. I don't think Ricky Pearsall is a fun slot guy. Maybe does some outside work. Good route runner. Not the same level. I
he had 4 for 108.
Yeah, yak. Good for him.
Yeah, he's good.
He's not Brian Thomas.
Okay, so you're on the Saints. What are you doing here, Ryan?
No, the whole time I've been saying we're on the Niners.
Yes, I'm on 49ers.
I said, are we really
3?
going to lay 3 with Mac Jones on the road? That's how this whole thing started.
It's always a riddle. So 49ers -3.
Don't like it though because we're taking McCorkle. And are we going to actually take this in Survivor?
Yeah. Well, what else would we do?
I guess we got to follow the map.
If we didn't follow the map, then we blow. It's bad juju to say we're going to follow this map and then not follow.
Imagine we don't follow it and it ends up being correct.
That's bigger. That's
a bigger scenario.
That's worse than us sticking to our guns and failing, right?
Yes.
I mean, well, obviously we wouldn't have won millions of dollars.
Not failing is worse than failing.
But
confirmed.
I'm just saying, what would you rather do? Use some? I mean, is there another team you dying to use in Survivor? Because a lot of these favorites are kind of scary in my mind.
It's
like I could see how you
diabolical week.
I could see how you could talk yourself into the Ravens, or maybe the Bills. But I like the dogs on both those spots.
Cowboys.
Yeah, if you want to take
Lions.
the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think there's some. I think I think we missed. The Cardinals have a couple early season spots to maybe take them in the Survivor. But.
All right, let's give out an Underdog Fantasy a pick'em entry. Of course, head over to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code SGPN. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code SGPN. Kramer, what are we doing this week?
Let's see. What do you do we want to? We talked about Justin Fields earlier. Do we just want to run that back?
Well, for the Monday night game, we had Caleb Williams higher 23.5 rush yards, JJ McCarthy lower 251 or 221.5 passing yards. That came in. On the Sunday show, we had Kyler Murray higher 34.5 rushing yards. That cashed with Puka Nacua higher 73.5 receiving yards. He had 107. He had an awesome game. What do you like, Ryan? What's jumping out at you?
That's what do we just run back to Justin Field? You can still get 1.17x on the anytime. I think we just play it until it becomes less than even money.
So Justin Fields, we're getting a little spicy here.
Tiny spicy.
A little spice.
A little bit
higher 1.17 touchdowns essentially to get in the end zone. Yeah, I mean Justin Fields, I'm always gonna like rushing until we see something different.
I have another one as well, ready to go. Jahmyr Gibbs had a bad game.
Yeah,
his rushing number is 68.5.
You think he You think he gets 69 yards?
Yeah, against the Bears defense. Yeah.
You thought the Bears defense looked that bad?
I thought when the Vikings started running the ball with Jordan Mason, it was working.
Okay.
And so I do think they're going to be able to. I think that's going to be the game plan. They realized that they didn't get Gibbs going, and that was why they lost.
I mean, Jordan Mason 15 for 68, so he would have gone lower than this number. But you think
they also play Aaron? Okay. How much of that he did that all in the second half? Basically, they weren't using him in the first half.
Okay. I'm a little skeptical, but I'll trust you, Ryan. Let's go higher.
Very much. This is a smash.
Higher. Jahmyr Gibbs 68.5 rushing yards, and Justin Fields higher, a half rushing and receiving touchdown. Of course, go over to Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code SGPN, play $5, get $50 in bonus funds, and we're also brought to you by Novig. Looking for some more action in a state where you're craving extra action? Novig available in 35 states. Novig is an exchange, so you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Download the Novig app, try it out, toss us a bone, toss yourself a bone when you use the promo code SGPN.
All right, Sean. Head to the afternoon window.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, we only have 3 games here, and they're doing that thing where we get a lot of Panthers games in the afternoon, so they concentrate the eyes on the good game. Carolina on a back-to-back road spot here. Wait, is that accurate? That doesn't seem accurate.
Yeah, they were at Jacksonville.
You're right. They were in Jacksonville.
Then they are now at Arizona.
For some reason, I had Jacksonville on the road, factoring it more dominant win.
It's smoking my weed.
Cardinals coming off I think when you're a good team, that's a fine win. They didn't look great against the Saints, but they took care of it. Business. They got the cover. They're now laying 7 points, basically the same spread. This time they're at home, -285 on the money line. Panthers +240. 44.5 is the total. Big note for me here is that the Panthers offensive line is all out there practicing. Ekwonu off of the appendicitis or whatever, he's practicing to start the week, so that's a big deal there. Certainly think it helps because people can say that we're going to overreact with how Jacksonville looked against the Panthers, but part of the reason they didn't look great is their offensive line was not having a ton of success.
Ryan, I have a little nugget here. This is in the NFL history, this is the matchup of the 2 tiniest quarterbacks of all time.
Really?
We got a tater tot versus the tiny tot.
Oh, you didn't actually. Is that accurate?
Tiniest, yeah. Find me 2 tinier quarterbacks.
Everyone was tiny back in the day.
Oh my god!
So I'm sure you could find.
Ryan, remember the story? Were you there when you were talking to Derek and he was explaining the St. Patrick's Day party they had early on at Circa? Where they hired a lot of
tiny people.
Yeah, and the tiny people all dressed up as leprechauns.
Oh, that sounds great.
The problem was they go, "Hey, can we have some drinks?" And Derek told them, "Yeah, of course you can have some drinks." And then they got drunk and they lost some. They found one guy sleeping under a blackjack table.
Well, that's one of the benefits of being tiny.
Yeah, you could. Any place is a nice little nap zone.
So
look at that tot go.
So, yeah, I mean, Arizona as a touchdown favorite feels like a danger situation,
but they're at home.
But I saw nothing from this Panthers offense that makes me feel good about them going against the Cardinals here.
And really, the score should have been even more lopsided because they called back a pick six that little tiny tot, aka Bryce, he threw a pick six that they called back that probably should have made this a bigger.
So Kyler's on the motorcycle, Bryce is in the sidecar. Is that
yes.
That's the picture?
It's like the opposite of those like 2 giant guys on bikes. They're like 2 tiny guys on bikes. To me, the reason I think, well, one, also Kyler was sick. He was blowing chunks before the game. I think the one reason
he overcame.
Yeah. The one reason I'm fading the Panthers here, not only the offense looked bad. Now, certainly if they get Ekwonu back, that's going to help them a little bit, but the Panthers defense had a 9.7 pressure rate in week 1. That is horrific. If you're not really familiar with the stat, there was like a dozen individual players who had more just by them individually. They could not get any pass rush against the Jags.
It's really bad.
Jags O-line is like fine, but if you're giving Kyler Murray a bunch of time, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., they're going to get open. They're going to get getting Connor going. Like the D line, and we had Ryan O'Flanagan on, Panthers fan, who was he excited about Tet? Yeah, he was, but he was also very pissed off that they didn't use that first round pick on getting a pass rusher.
I mean, again, they
Jags ran for 200 yards on the Panthers. That was the first time the Jaguars have ever done that. That to me is just this Panthers front seven. You cannot trust.
They also, featured the tight end in the passing game, Trey McBride. Expect I mean, the Jags kind of laid out a blueprint of how you can just dink and dunk the ball around, get it to the open guy. I fully expect Kyler to have a good game, but really the story for me, you mentioned the rushing yards. I mean, Trey Benson and Connor look good. This Cardinals team is gonna hit him in the mouth, I think, and so this is probably like officially, I'd say this is the donkey play for us because we, as I started with, laying 7 with Kyler is not a position you want to be in generally.
No, look at that tack go there. This is going to set a record for scampering because I also think Bryce Young runs a little bit because they're still have their offensive
sharps are also on the Panthers this week.
No, those rat bastard sharps, right?
The Eric Eager effect continues to drag the
Kramer, you gotta explain to people this is a great teaser leg.
It's true. It's a great teaser leg. It's also, I believe it's also a great pleaser.
Ooh.
Game number 2 so we're both on the Cardinals laying the points. Broncos, Colts, game number 2 in the late window, 105 on the West Coast. Broncos laying 2 here, which I'll tell you right now, that is a trap line. -125 on the money line. Colts plus 105. 43.5 is the total. Can the Colts run back a similar defensive scheme as the Titans last week? Potentially. I didn't think the Titans were a very good defense, and they played admirably against the Broncos. I think Bo Nix going to the road now, kind of some questions to be answered with his play last week.
I mean, Broncos outgained the Titans by 317 to 133.
True, fair. But I thought Bo Nix at times made some poor decisions.
He certainly looked bad at times.
Now we have Daniel Jones going from playing the worst defense in the league, where his receivers. I mean, this is the craziest stat from week 1. His receivers, I believe it's the separation metric, but they had more average separation than any other receiver group in the league. And that's not a receiver group that people are gushing over. So now they go against arguably one of the best secondaries and a very good defense, albeit a pretty long injury report for the Broncos and a very short one for the Colts. I kind of am excited to see who people are betting on here, because this feels like another one where the sharps are going to walk out on the plank here and back Daniel Jones as a home dog. We're already seeing this number start to move in. I fully expect the Broncos to be a dog by Sunday.
Brian, do you think, is it a coincidence that Daniel Jones' first game not in a Giants uniform was by far his best game of his career?
Well, that's not true. He had better games as a rookie.
No.
Yes. No, this is a career game for Daniel Jones. Ryan, since 19. I mean, I don't mean to screw up your stat, but
no, the first team to score on every possession since 1978.
Oh, well, that was, I mean, but are you giving, this is one where are we overrating or under, are you crediting that to the Colts offense? Or are you crediting that to whatever the Dolphins were doing on defense?
No, I'm just pointing out how hilarious it is that he has an amazing game. The first game he's not playing for the Giants.
Hilarious. Kevin O'Connell fixed him. We were both wrong. Somehow the magic worked.
So for
322 and 4 touchdowns against the Lions as a rookie. 308 and 4 touchdowns against the Jets.
But he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
352 and 5 touchdowns against the Redskins.
But he scored on every possession. That to me is the best game.
Okay.
So, but
I'm just taking some. Yeah, not the best game of his career. A very good game.
One of his best games of his career.
Sure. Should have been. Was he elected player of the week?
No, he didn't have as good of a game as JJ McCarthy. The Broncos had 4 turnovers and still won the game. I think that kind of highlights how good this team was and is. And I think, did they play a sloppy game against an inferior opponent? Sure. But I think I trust Sean Payton to have this team ready to go on the road. I think the defense played really well. I mean, the defense kept them in that game, considering the offense had 4 turnovers and the Broncos defense did not allow a touchdown. I don't care if you got a rookie quarterback. That's pretty tough to do. And they're going to get to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones saw no pressure against the Miami Dolphins. Daniel Jones cracks under pressure. That's why he had a good game. He was not pressured at all The Denver Broncos are going to bring some pressure. Patrick Surtain allowed 0 yards in the receiving game. Like this is the defense they're facing is another level. And I think maybe they'll rein in Bo Nix a little bit. He was definitely pressing in that first game.
That's what worries me. I think the likelihood of both these guys throwing some interceptions in this one.
I think the Broncos are going to play a much cleaner game and they're going to destroy the Indianapolis Colts. Love the Broncos here. Kramer, what are you doing?
I agree with everything you said. I'm taking the Broncos. I don't know if I necessarily. I hope that Sean Payton reins back the passing and just let's pound the rock. Let's pound the rock. Let's not do anything crazy. Clearly, Bo Nix thinks he's closer to John Elway than he actually is. But I think the main handicap here is that I will be very shocked if Daniel Jones comes out and roasts the Broncos defense. Then yeah, who knows?
Yeah, then
fire everyone.
Then yeah, I'm completely wrong. But this is a bounce back game for the Broncos.
He tried so hard to throw that pick six on that screen pass against the Dolphins, and it was close to being. There
were multiple turnover worthy plays because
you just told me it was the best game he's ever played.
Yeah, because they didn't get the turnovers. And he won the game. He had
like 5 turnover worthy plays.
But they won 33-8.
I know.
There weren't a lot of 25-point wins.
No,
where they scored on every possession.
It's remarkable.
With the Giants.
It's remarkable.
Easily one of his best games.
Remarkable. I don't like this.
To me, it's more just shows you what is Brian Daboll doing with this Giants organization.
Maybe. I think I wouldn't overreact to one Daniel Jones game.
Oh, I still think he sucks, but I didn't see any games like that with Daboll
he completely he had a great game in the postseason, winning a playoff game, shredding the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, I think you can find opportunities where he had good games in actual moments that mattered. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll see how he looks. Let's get to week 3 or even week 2. I mean, I don't like laying the points here because everything I've heard from this quote unquote sharps out there.
So you're taking Indy?
No, you're not listening to the podcast.
You said I don't like laying the 2
and finishing my point because this is going to be +2 on Sunday.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I don't have a take.
91% of the handle at Circa is on the Colts right now.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the bet splits?
That's what I just told you. 91% of the handle. Oh, the bet splits are right down, like close to down the middle.
Okay.
So big bets coming in on the Colts.
Yeah, I still think Denver will be a favorite, but we'll see.
Okay. Next up.
What do you think it closes?
I just said -2. Colts -2, -2.5.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a pretty big change. Then I'll wait to bet it.
That's why I said. So you're on the Colts +2.
Well, then why wouldn't you take it if you're gonna get 4 points of CLV?
I'm just being like you, where I was sharing some really good information. You on the Colts? No, I'm on the Broncos, but we're gonna get a better price on Friday.
Okay, well then that's when we'll bet it.
Eagles on the road against the Chiefs, but Eagles getting the respect, laying the point, coming off the Thursday night win, the banner raising that never happened. Eagles also one of the public sides here, very much. And I can look at 94% of the handle, 80% of the bets over at the Circa on the Eagles. We haven't seen too much movement here. What did it open, Sean? Were the Chiefs a short favorite, -1.5? Now it's like I said, Eagles -1, -1.5 out there, -115 on the money line. Chiefs -105. 47 is the total. Chiefs. I think they're going to need Rashee Rice. And as you'll notice, Colby added an Arrowhead sticker. So far 2 stadiums he likes, Lambeau and Arrowhead. I don't know. Break it down, Sean. Why are you both teams hangover? Don't they usually do the rematch later in the season?
No, obviously the Eagles aren't hungover. Got a nice win against the Dallas Cowboys.
Jalen Carter was spitting all over the place. You ever been hungover? You gotta spit a little bit.
And Jalen Carter is back. Shout out to our commissioner. Appreciate the common sense that, hey, he basically served a 1-game suspension, doesn't need to be suspended anymore.
Has that ever happened before? I mean, no one's
ever been suspended for spitting. So that
no, but just in general, has anyone ever like who's been suspended very early in a game or at the beginning of a game have they ever been given
I don't know how many
served?
I don't know anyone who's been ejected pregame off the top of my head.
But but I also have never.
But
heard
also,
of this
no one's
before.
ever been suspended for spitting. So they're making up the rules as they go. Either way, Jalen Carter is playing. Jalen Carter will dominate this Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. Everyone talking about how he's got a chip on his shoulder. Felt really bad for letting the team down. Realized it was a learning experience for him. And I mean, yes, am I thrilled that they're still starting Adoree Jackson? No, but other than that, I'm very confident about this defense. I've been hyping up the young defensive line for the Eagles. Nolan Smith was one of the top outside edge rushers, pass rush rate. Josh Uche was actually led the league in pass rush win rate last game. I think the Eagles have a very simple formula. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. If he starts and finishes the game, they win the game. They've won 15 games in a row. They're very good about not turning the ball over. This Kansas City offense, without Xavier Worthy, without Rashee Rice, I think it's going to be tough for them to move the ball in the passing game. And I think the D line is going to eat like they ate against them in the Super Bowl. I mean, Patrick Mahomes didn't have a lot of time to throw in the Super Bowl, and I don't think much has changed since then. I think the Eagles D line is gonna bring the heat. Jahad Campbell, I expect to have a very good game. And yeah, Dallas Goedert dealing with the knee sprain. Okay, that's not the end of the world if they have to run someone else out there.
He kind of was a big part of their passing game.
Yeah, I mean that was because
wasn't really going to the outside. Goddard was in a lot of cases he was clearly the guy Jalen Hurts was looking for.
Yeah, Devonta Smith is going to be the guy that I think has a massive game. If not, they might go out of their way to feed AJ Brown. They do that sometimes. If one guy doesn't get a bunch of targets, they'll go out of their way to feed him the next game. But Devonta Smith has done very well against the Kansas City Chiefs. Was all over his props in the Super Bowl. Of course, he caught the dagger touchdown, etched in NFL history to put the Chiefs away in that Super Bowl blowout. The case for the Chiefs is obviously Patrick Mahomes. He's a dog. Patrick Mahomes coming off a loss. Andy Reid off the loss, but man, this Chiefs team, as someone who backed them against the Chargers, they're just looking lethargic. They're looking out of sync.
It was a Brazil game.
Yeah, it looked very similar to the team I saw in the Super Bowl. I didn't see a lot of like, oh, this is something different and new. I think they're going to struggle. So Eagles smash play.
Yeah, I think the concern for the Eagles is that secondary, and I mean, how good is that Dallas offensive line? How will the Eagles defensive line look in this game? They will have Jalen Carter, so I'm very torn here because on one hand, this is where you take the Chiefs. On the other hand, Eagles are the better team. That's why everyone's betting on them right now. I will take the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah. Here's why. I think Adoree Jackson. I think the Chiefs will be very clear just to attack this weakness over and over, and they'll just spam it. They're one of the better teams at doing that. And if it fails, it will fail because of what you say. The defensive line is able to win and not give them time.
I think Adoree Jackson is a very short leash.
On the other side of the ball, what I do like about this Chiefs defense getting their ass kicked a little bit by a physical team is wake the fuck up. They got woken the fuck up in Brazil by the Chargers front. And I think this is a area of the team that we expect to be solid. And so,
and you mentioned Brazil, the travel spot is a huge advantage for the Eagles. The Eagles get the extra day of rest. They don't have the crazy spot of coming back from Brazil. Eagles lost a home game week 2 after winning in Brazil in a similar spot here.
Yeah. Packers won in theirs for what it's worth. So, and the Eagles probably should have won if Barkley catches that football. Nice try.
No, you don't think the travel thing hurts Kansas City a little bit?
Totally. I mean, it's a fair point, but okay. I'm just bringing up last year. Both teams coming back from Brazil last year absolutely should have won those games. Unfortunately, Barkley dropped that ball. Sunday Night Football, which early to throw Michael Penix into the fire. Oh, what's this? We got JJ McCarthy on the other side. I see they're already hyping up the fact that these guys have played recently in college. Atlanta catching 4 points here in the spaceship. Vikings on a short week here off that Monday night win. A lot of emotions. Atlanta +4, +175 on the money line. Atlanta, or the total's 44.5. I don't know what to think here. I kind of liked what I saw from Atlanta, but I always have to remember those NFC South matchups are wonky, and sometimes that doesn't translate to the outside world. And then, which team is this Vikings team? Did they just adjust against a bad coach, and that's all we saw from JJ? Because I don't really like the Atlanta coaching staff either.
Yeah, I mean, back in Raheem Morris is always a little scary, but I thought Michael Penix looked really good. And, it felt like he put the team on his back. Those plays he was making near the goal line, he got in the end zone. I'm still annoyed. I had him first touchdown. I didn't take the anytime. I think he's going to be scrambling around a little bit. Drake London's banged up. It looks like he's going to be on track to play here Sunday.
He was practicing today.
And yeah, the Vikings, shout out to them, the offensive line, but they also did look horrible for 3 quarters. I both sides of the ball. Now, certainly, I think they could. The Vikings coming off a game where they literally dumped the Gatorade, celebrating, going nuts on a Monday night, and now have to come back and get up for another primetime game. Again, maybe JJ McCarthy is him, and he's going to hit the ground running and not have those first 3 quarters are the only rookie struggles we'll see from him. He certainly adjusted well there in the 4th quarter. I'm still going to take Atlanta Falcons and the points. I liked a lot of what I saw out of this Falcons team. Now, obviously some current concerns with what Ibuka did against them secondary wise, but I mean, the narrative could be very different if Young Ho Koo hits that fucking field goal. They get to overtime and they win that game in OT. Then it's like, oh, look at Michael Penix putting the team on his back. Basically, all the stuff that they're saying about JJ McCarthy. And I thought Michael Penix, certainly JJ McCarthy played the better game because he went out and got the W. So hats off to him. But I thought in a lot of ways, Michael Penix had a pretty good game. And now he's going up into a dome. I still think they're going to be hanging around in this game. I'd just be surprised if they got their ass kicked here. I'll take the Falcons and 4 points.
Why is this not a 3-point spread or something like that? I think the Falcons, so I'm still right about Michael Penix. He was dreadful when you look at completion percentage over expected. Bottom 5 in the league once again, but I thought they did look okay. I think Bijan is electric and creates a lot for that offense. And I think at the end of the day, Drake London is a big ass dude. So if you're not accurate, I guess better to be thrown at a big ass dude. It sounds like he's going to be fine. I'm with you. I'll take the points because I'm not so sure why. Like, these teams are very similar to me. The difference obviously is Brian Flores and that defense. I'm kind of looking past that because what I saw from that defense was once they figured it out, they looked very good, but they looked very, very meek in that first half, almost like they were waiting, like they knew they could trick Caleb Williams. I don't know if they'll have the same confidence to do that. So, and guess who's in the concussion protocol? Van Ginkel, who clearly means something to that defense. Yeah. He's always flashing and getting in the right spot. So concussion protocol, we know the linebackers do have a chance to come back. Although that does seem like it should be the opposite. I did read that he is not it's not even close to certain. And I think, was it last year? Not until we got to the playoffs were players actually coming back in that first week anyway. They do that thing where early in the season they make you sit out a week. So if he's out, that changes the defense. I'm with you. I'll take the Falcons, even though I don't love them.
And Young Ho Koo is in a kicking competition right now versus Parker Romo. So
that's where he's at his best. He's the YouTube kicker.
Hopefully he loses because I do like the Falcons again here. Get you 4 points, Kramer.
Yeah, we can't root for a Romo. Come on. Monday Night Football doubleheader. Alert everyone. 4 p.m. on the West Coast for the first game. We got the Bucs in a back-to-back road spot, which again, if you're a Bucs fan, you got to feel great getting that dub, getting out of town after getting swept by the Falcons last year. Now you're on the road in Houston to take on the Texans. Great work by Colby on the helmets. Texans -2.5, -145 on the money line. Bucs +125. 43 is the total. I don't know what you have to say about the Houston offense. It looked bad.
Yeah.
In a situation where I like the Jags. I don't think they're going to have the best defense in the league. Now you got Todd Bowles, and it's like, well, how do you stop the Texans offense? You stop Nico Collins. Period. You take the 2.5 before you lay it. I'm still not in on this Texans team. You're gonna have to be the Texans guy on this show, because I can't get in on this offense yet. The offensive line.
No, the offense looked bad. I think what hurt them is they did some last second swaps of the starting lineup for the offensive line. So hopefully they keep it consistent here going into this game. You do that because you're not like that's a sign of problems. Their offensive line isn't great. I get it. I don't know about this Bucs team as well. Certainly Baker has shown up in big games, but you have a hungry Texans team, home opener, and that defense is very, very good. I think the Bucs offensive line still a big issue until they get Wirfs back. I think you're going to be able to pressure the quarterback and create some good plays here. So I think this is tough. I will go with the Texans because they're at home and it's their home opener and they're coming off a bad loss where they didn't score a touchdown. I'm not super high on them, but I still think they could win this division. So I'll take Houston +2.5 or lay in 2.5. I just think this is a bad spot for the Bucs. They just had a crazy division game. Now you got to go home and then fly back out on the road for a Monday night game where Houston is going to be up for this game. They do not want to fall to 0-2, and they're, I think, a well-coached team with a really good defense. So I'll take the Texans.
Yeah, give me Baker in prime time. Give me Todd Bowles against this offense.
Baker's actually been pretty bad ATS on Monday nights.
Okay. I'm just saying. Perhaps if you narrow it down in Monday nights, but overall in prime time, he's been good, especially in his tenure at the Bucs over the last couple of years. And yeah, Todd Bowles scheming up something against CJ Stroud and this offense right now. They're not good. Like you mentioned, they didn't score a touchdown. And while the Rams might have a decent defense, I think a lot of it just came on taking Nico Collins out of the game. They don't really have a run game. Nick Chubb, as much as I want him to be back, he didn't look that explosive. And again, I don't think the Jags are the best defense in the league. So I'll keep riding the Bucs here. This is classic Baker led team, right? They overperform a little bit sometimes, and Baker's going to wake up feeling dangerous in the spot. You take the 2.5, Sean. You never lay it. Come on, we've learned that years ago. Monday night game number 2, which I have a tip on this one, Sean.
Oh, great!
7 p.m. on the West Coast. I was dealing with some plumbing issues today. Not a metaphor. And the plumber really likes the Raiders this weekend. Raiders are catching 3.5 here at home in Vegas. I wonder if the Circa is going to be doing a special hang for all the Chargers fans out there.
Oh yeah, the actress who plays the Chargers +3.5 for the Raiders. I star in the role as Chargers fan.
She's also a Vikings fan.
Yeah,
part time. Raiders +3.5, +155 on the money line. Chargers back-to-back road games here, coming back from Brazil, but a little bit extra rest. -180.
But that's what the Chargers do the best.
46 is the total, but be on the road.
Yeah.
The problem with this is the Raiders don't often have the totality of the crowd, and so they could have a bigger advantage than they typically have. I liked what I saw from the Raiders. It's hard for me to judge it because I don't think the Patriots are very good. Chargers are coming off a big win in Brazil. You think Harbaugh let himself celebrate a little bit down there?
No, not at all. Harbaugh's been awesome ATS.
Yeah.
With the Chargers, and this is when Jay Herbert shines. September. This is his month. This is the time. I thought that offense looked very good. He played a great game.
He was so good. Have you not seen the Herbert honks showing his numbers? Like Decker's got to have a new wallpaper.
No, he's rock hard. And the Chargers released Ryan, to reset voodoo, you have to sacrifice someone.
Yeah.
And they released Jalen Reagor, which I think that might be the end of the Chargers curse right there. Getting that bum off your team. I think to me, I don't know. I look at the Raiders. The Geno Smith played really well. Geno Smith in a dome. Geno Smith in that passing game. I think you can make a decent case for the Raiders, but I like, Gene T just kind of like whatever. That to me was a little just meh.
I don't think we should short sell the outcome of the Raiders as a team that has sucked perennially.
Yeah.
Opening a season in a tough road spot and just taking care of business. The emotion on the sideline checks all the boxes. I'm not overreacting. It's just, this is what we expected from Pete Carroll. They have a professional offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly. They have a professional wide receiver in Jacoby Myers. And even if Brock Bowers goes out of a game, which he did, if you told if we learned that he was going to leave the game, which apparently he could have come back. If we learned he wasn't going to play in the game, would we have picked the Raiders? We would at least pause for a second. They just showed that they're going to be solid. And then on the defensive side of the ball, that's where I worry. Like, what's this defense going to look like against Herbert, who is looking very good right now?
I'll take the Chargers.
If it becomes a shootout, can the Raiders maintain? You know what I saw from Geno last week? If he can stay upright and they can, which I don't know, I didn't see a ton from the Chargers pass rush. They looked okay. I know you're supposed to lay the 3.5, but I think I have to take the Raiders here.
It's a trap, Ryan. Classic.
It is a trap. I'm going to fall for it.
Give me the Los Angeles Superchargers.
Sean, this Friday. Come on. We're just going to scream Raider. Nothing more fun than hearing Raiders echo through the circa.
Hey, time for our lock, dog, and tease, brought to you by mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. Head over there, get the 100% bet back bonus up to $500. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Ryan, are we still sticking with the 49ers for our survivor play? Right? We have to. Like, for a number of reasons. One, imagine if we went off the map and then we'd get lost.
Two, just to your point, where are we gonna go? Yeah. I don't really want to think about it. Now we know we don't have to think about Survivor the rest of the. Although I do have a couple other smaller pools going on. All right, locks.
Yes, lock, dog, tease, lock.
Where do you stand on a Thursday lock? I try not to do it. Lock number one. I'm just talking.
You answer your own questions a lot.
I know.
I give you a second to answer.
Jets plus 6.5.
Oh, okay.
Why did you want to take that?
That's going to be one of my locks.
Yeah. Lock number 2. Pittsburgh -3.
It's going to be one of my locks as well.
Really?
Yeah.
We're crossing swords hard this week. And lock number 3, I'm going to fade them till they prove me wrong. Give me the Bucs. I'm fading the Texans.
Tampa Bay plus 2.5. What's your dog, Kramer?
My dog. I think that people need to realize that the NFL slot machine has real power. And although I wasn't wearing the Trevor Lawrence wig when I hit the 5th hand pay, I will be wearing the Trevor Lawrence wig when I hit the 6th hand pay. Give me the Jags plus the 155. And that's the appropriate way to play this game. The Jags are going to win or get beat by 17 points. Teaser?
Yes.
Which, by the way, for those wondering on what would have been the 4th lock, the Lions. Teaser. Let's get the Cardinals down to 1. Let's get the Lions down to plus 0.5. And let's get the Rams down to a pick.
All right, for me, lock up the Steelers, laying the 3.
Dear God.
Lock up the Jets, getting 6.5. And then give me the Denver Broncos, laying 2. Extreme lock potential there for my dog.
2 weeks in a row fading the Colts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why not? It's the martingale theory, right?
Just double down.
Yeah. Well, I do you think the Colts power rating is going to be any higher after that win?
I don't understand why all the sharps are betting the Colts. I really don't understand. Imagine putting down a massive bet on a Tuesday for the Colts.
No thanks. Bunch of dogs I like. Obviously Atlanta on the money line, Bears, Jets, Titans could be frisky. This is to me a little bit crazy. I'm gonna get spicy early. Joe Flacco gets his revenge for the Baltimore Ravens. Ultimate letdown game. Plus 575 on the money line. Give me the Browns.
It's a huge number.
It's a huge number.
Huge number.
I mean, to me, like, I think the Browns have just as good of a chance as the as some of these, as the Giants, as the Bears. I think they're all in that similar spot.
I don't know why I didn't make the lock card. There's just something about the, like, there's going to be two sides of the Browns coin this season.
Yeah, they'll suck later on once Joe Flacco's out. For me, Ryan, give me tease. Give me the Arizona Cardinals laying the 1. Give me Atlanta up to 10.
Whoa, that's sharp.
Up across a bunch of key numbers. My
fair is a lot lower. That's
and give
nice.
me Chicago plus 11.5. Lock it up. All right, so circa million. This might be easy. So we have Jets plus 6.5, Steelers minus 3. Those are the two locks we agree on.
Yep.
What else are we putting in here, Ryan?
Well, I went 3-0 last week. You're gonna try to act like you're not gonna put my other lock.
So
in there?
put your Bucs plus 2.5.
Yep.
What else do we want to include here? Consensus plays Miami, Green Bay,
Colts again. Play Denver. Do we want to play the Niners? Double up on the Niners and put them in.
I feel like Survivor's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that we both played. We played the Jags and the.
I liked Arizona was close for me.
Oh yeah, let's put Arizona on there.
Arizona minus 7. What else are we putting in there?
I mean, I think we either go with
Denver is one of my other locks. You picked Denver. It didn't sound like you liked Denver.
The idea that Denver turns Dan Jones over a couple times just seems very realistic. I would say we pick between Denver, Jacksonville, and Cleveland.
Okay. Well, for me, it's Denver because they're my lock.
Put Denver on the board.
But Jacksonville and Cleveland, I like as well.
No, put Denver on the board.
Jacksonville, I almost like better on the money line.
That's why I put it as a dog.
No, I think Jags are live on the money line. I was going to pick them, but you already stole a number of my locks, Ryan. But good thing we got consensus there. So circa million card, Jets plus 6.5, Steelers minus 3, Bucs plus 2.5, Arizona laying the 7, and Denver laying the 2. Great times as always. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Telling a buddy. Appreciate all the downloads. Downloads have been crushing it. YouTube views off the charts. It means you guys are spreading the word. Appreciate that. Questions, comments on Spotify, always down. Hit us up. Toss us 5 stars. Remember, promo code football 25% off. We don't have the don't bully me, I'll come hats in stock, but
do we need to get them
almost have to.
What if we get them with all team colors? You can get your Steelers one. You can get the Cowboys one. Maybe we make them only in Cowboys colors.
Darius was trying to talk me out of Denver. The line is screaming to take the Colts. Yeah, well,
see, this is why the sharps are all betting the Colts.
The line is telling you. I don't listen to that bullshit. And to Kramer's point, Denver's gonna be a dog by the time kickoff comes around. In a way to reset the mojo, get the vibes right. We didn't play this song at all this year for the football season. It's a classic from our buddy Carl Restivo, who is responsible for mixing our awesome theme song. So to play us out, it is his hit song. You can get it on YouTube, I think, Spotify. Hey Degens. So to end the show and appreciate.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Sean going 6-0.
Kramer, let it ride.
I've got a fuck ton of bets on some games tonight. Got my lucky shirt on, yeah, I'm high as a kite. Kickoffs are starting soon, I better settle in. Maybe be here a while, now let the games begin. Hey, Degens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know win. Hey, Degens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro, I just bet it all on Kansas City, minus 10. Shit, I never lose, I just push or win. Parlays, teasers, telling some prop bets. I just bet heavy as fuck on this money line live bet. Got my cigars, my booze, and a bag of edibles. We the real men of D-Gen. This is how we roll. D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know then you know when. Hey, D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro. I just bet it all on Kansas City -10. Shit, I never lose. I just push or win. Score is tied and stakes is high. How's my prediction? It can't be denied. Hoping that this game don't slip away, cause this could be my fucking lucky day. Hey, D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know when. Hey, D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro. I just bet it all on the Houston Texans -10. Dude, I never lose. I just push or win. Only tell the wife when I have a big win, but it feels like they're getting fewer and far in between. Meanwhile, I love the Packers to win outright. Plus, I'm triple stacked with them in the Millie Maker tonight. Hey, D-Gens, it's time for some football. Who do you like? Shit, I like them all. What type of friend says gamble is a sin? Yo, if you know bet, you know when. Hey, D-Gens, it's time for some football. Self-control, bro. I just bet it all on Jacksonville +10. Shit, I never lose. I either push or win. Hey, Sean. Yes, Ryan. Fly, Eagles, fly. Oh, Ryan, dude, wow, you're so sweet. I really appreciate that. It's gonna be a great season for my Eagles. And hey, just for that, I'll give you a banger Giants drop. Now, how does that sound? No way. Here we go. Gee, man, the Giants are a great football team, and I have a weird crush on the head coach. I mean, he dropped all that weight, right? Dude, I'm dying. I know. Oh, here comes Decker. Hey, Decker! Hey, kids! I just have one thing to say to you. What's that, Deck? San Diego Superchargers charge. Bro, they not an SD anymore. How many times do I have to tell you? That is a disgusting act. Hey, any of you guys want to toe Alk about disgusting? Hey, yo, how about my pets? Here we go, baby freaking wheel, man. Shut it, Capper. You like that? Careful. Of what? Of all the nerds